Welcome, Sagittarius, to your end of the month reading for May. Hope you friends are doing great out there. Okay, let's see what's going on with you, Sagittarius. Best message coming out. Disappointment and abandonment. It's, that Pluto within that Uranus is really taking on this huge transformation for everyone. Everybody, there's a lot of karmic cycles going on. There's a lot of people leaving places, a lot of people, doing a lot of different things. Things are really working over here. I see in every reading. Leaving things behind, feeling like I'm going to walk away from this situation. Could be that, after that full moon in Scorpio. Because it seems like this is where it's really taking place between the mid-month to the end of the month. That full moon in Scorpio had a lot to do with things. This is going after your own legacy, understanding what it is you truly want within the situation. You've been mixing a lot of water over here, my friends. You've been trying to heal. You've been trying to be the star of the show. You've been trying to put your purpose out there. And it just feels like I'm done. I'm walking away from this situation. Now, if you know somebody else is walking away from you, you can, reverse those energies. That's fine. But right now it's your reading, so I'm going to make it you because I'm really feeling it's you. Going on to calmer waters. It's almost like I've tried to mix this water so many times. I just can't do it. It's just like it just doesn't get done. So you are preparing to walk away. It looks like you are in the progress. You can see the expansion of what it is you truly want. It looks like you've been looking out there for quite a while. Yeah, I don't know why. It just feels like this man has been standing out here looking at this, looking out in the horizon for a long time. I don't feel like this is something new. I feel like you've been standing out there. You've had your hands on all the wands. Right? You're just like finally on the third wand. You're like, okay, let's go. No, it just feels like you've been dreaming a lot, especially sitting next to the star card. It's like I've been dreaming about this for a long while of how I'm going to walk away from this situation. Maybe you're just not sure where you're going, but maybe now you're starting to prepare yourself to get the understanding. You're walking into your own power. You're going to walk over here, right? You're getting into your power. You're saying, I am Sagittarius. I'm going to take on all the kings, all the kings, and I'm going to become the emperor. So now you've found yourself in this place of structure. You're finally getting your place of discipline and focus. You're really focused now on where you're going to go. But yeah, it looks like you've been looking out there for a while. Trying to find that homecoming, trying to find that place that you feel like this is home. I feel like you're walking away from a place that does not feel like home, and this is not a place of comfort. I'm looking out for a place of comfort, a place where I can place my throne and feel like I'm at home, and I'm getting in my chariot and I'm leaving. That's it. That's it. You see the movement. You're determined. You're ready for this departure now. So I do see that, it's not just a thought anymore. It's like now I'm prepping for action. The Emperor has his coat on. He's ready to go. He can just get up and run into war or go into town. He can do whatever he wants. He's got a cloak for everything. But he's ready to move. And I do feel like he's getting in his chariot. He's getting in his car. He's getting on this plane. He's leaving for this place of comfort. Whether this is a new love, whether this is the place you do love, it's the place that you feel that is where you're going to be comfortable. No more confusion. Getting a place out of confusion. You're having that inner clarity now. You've rethought the situation, and it's like now all of your clouded judgment is coming into truth. Clarify on the Ace of Swords, because I'm telling you, the Ace of Swords is... Yep, there it is. The Ace of Wands. There it is. You're holding on to that Ace of Wands. That is your truth. That's your new opportunity. That's your truth. You're saying, this is my project. This is my truth. This is where I'm going to create my new beginning. I've got the wand now. I know where I'm going. Okay. You're not, like I said, you're not confused anymore. You got this. You've got the desire and the power to do so. Absolutely. You've been manifesting, and now it says it's time to take the action to where all the manifesting was. So all the visualization that you've been doing, all the hoping and praying and everything is now coming into light, and it's now time for you, Sag, to be able to take that and, you know, and use those tools and get moving. Take that action. Yep. Your manifestation is coming in. You're going to have this new news that's going to help you move towards this manifestation. Could be coming in from a Capricorn. It doesn't have to be. Could be anybody. But this is the place. It could be a Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. Could be anybody. But this is where it's going to actually say, oh, okay. So your dream's coming in when you get this news. That's why you're going to move. Either that or you might be giving the news to someone else. We'll see. Oh, it's a tower. You might be giving the news to someone else and causing a tower. Or this news. No, you know, it's crazy. It could be. Could be that you're getting this news from them that causes a tower because now you're going to move. So you might be moving out of a relationship with the Four of Wands. And after this news, this stable offer that you've been waiting for, you're going to give the news to someone else. You're going to cause a tower. Okay, so it's going to be news to a news. Okay, that's why it feels like it's two newses. Okay, so it's one news to you're going to give the news. Clarifying on the Page of Pentacles to the Tower. Yeah, because you're going to give news too. Yeah, you're justifying the situation. You're getting this divorce. You're getting this fairness. You're giving out this truth of where you're moving and what you're doing, whether it's a job, moving houses, getting away from this love relationship, whatever it is. Yeah, and you're actually very focused on moving towards that pinnacle. So this offer comes in and you're like going to give this tower moment and you're going to have this sudden awareness. Hey, you know what? This is where it's fair. I'm sorry I gave you 9 of Swords. Ooh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I gave you 9 of Swords. But it has to be this way. You know, passionately moving. You're giving someone else the 9 of Swords and you're passionately moving on. This tower you're going to give to them is where it's going to become their nightmare. Because this boss does not want you to go because maybe you bring in a lot of money and maybe you're just not happy. Maybe it's boring, stalemate, however. Maybe you don't feel like you're living up to your legacy with this job even though you bring in a lot of money for them. And we can make a lot of money and it can be boring as hell. I've had that job. So no matter what it is, you're giving this, and if it's a relationship, you're giving them sleepless nights. Could be this Queen of Cups, could be, you know, talking to an Aries, another Sagittarius, a Leo, a Gemini, Cancer, Virgo. However it is, you're saying no more to the dress. Nope, I'm done. And you're going to put yourself into this place of self-protection because you already know where you're going to go, so you're not trying to let this affect you. You're just telling your truth or, you know, giving your 2 weeks notice, whatever it is, but you're not going to allow them to affect you. You're closing yourself off with the Four of Coins. You're holding yourself off. You're like, I don't want to hear it. I don't. Because if I hear it, then you're going to confuse me, and then I'm going to think I'm doing something wrong when I'm doing something for myself. Finally doing something for myself. So yeah, you're going after your own passion, but you're saying, I'm not opening myself up and I'm not going to allow myself to be vulnerable. I don't care what you have to say. So it's like you're going to close yourself off over here, Sag, because it's almost like if you allow them to have too much to say, they're going to make you feel guilty. That's it. Make you feel guilty for going after your passions. So you're closing down this commitment. You're saying, I'm not committed to this anymore. No. And there's boredom too. I'm bored in this job. I'm bored in this relationship. This relationship's going nowhere. This job's going nowhere. It's the same day in, day out. Bored to death. Yeah, I'm up for a little more of a challenge. I want a little bit more competition. But I'm also protecting myself because I know where I'm going. You know, guys are pretty adventurous. I could only imagine that, you know, if you were in some kind of boring ass job where you're doing the same thing day in, day night, you know, it probably would be boring. you know? Be like, I'm stuffing envelopes all night. I mean, I've done that job when I was a teenager, and it was cool when I was a teenager, but I couldn't imagine doing it now, like just sitting there stuffing, you know. I remember licking all that time, and then my dad finally got me this little wet sponge thing. You know what I'm talking about? I'm sure you guys seen it. You stick your fingers in it, and then you can do this, or you know what I'm saying? For it, and I was like, ooh, that's cool, but yeah. You just sit there and stuff envelopes for, oh my God. Like I said, when I was a kid, it was cool because he owned his own print shop. So it was really cool that I got to work there. I made money, right? I was making $5 a day. I mean, hey, I was there for like 8 hours, but I made $5. I was like 13 or something. I think it was like 1980. Was it like 1988? Yeah, whatever. All I know is I made enough money for candy. Yeah, I got $5, and I was there for like 8 or 9 hours though. And I think I only really stuffed envelopes for probably 5, 6 hours. So I mean, in seriousness, probably like $1 an hour or something. Who knows, right? But it's not the point. The point is how boring. Yeah, I just you're and there might be a lot more other things going on as well, because now we have the finding peace within the situation. So whether it's I'm keeping the peace to myself and I want to go find peace, maybe this person, if you're in a love situation, maybe there's too much chaos. Everybody's story is going to be different. But yeah, you're avoiding being in kind of indecision. So you're like, nope, I'm leaving. And I'm keeping to myself. There will be no, it's like, hey, sorry, I'm out. Here's the paper. Gotta go. Nope, don't want to hear your side of the story. Don't care. Because then that's going to get me all emotional and get me all up in my head. And you've been planning this for quite a while for the majority of you. I don't care if it's 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 months, right? And you finally get to the decision, and then you're going to have somebody actually, don't go, right? And then you're going to end up staying and still not being happy. When you just finally got all the control that you need being the emperor. Spirit says go. Yes, trusting within your situation and go. Your time is now. You know what you need to do. This is going to improve your health for some of you. You might have those sleepless nights. You might, all those anxieties. It says you're ready. Ask your angels to improve your health. I feel like a lot of it's your mental state, probably drives you crazy. So be assertive within the next few weeks. Communicate clearly what it is you need to be. Be assertive. Do what you need within the next few weeks. Communicate clear. You tell them, I'm choosing a new direction. Love you. Gotta go. And your situation will completely be so different. No more waiting around. Your time is now. For some of you, it felt like maybe you were waiting for a compromise. I did see the compromise card. Maybe you were waiting for some kind of compromise from a loved one. Maybe they just can't do it. Maybe they just couldn't do it. So you're just like, no, I'm making my own peaceful resolution by heading out and letting go. Wow. Yeah. I'm done. Maybe you're waiting for some kind of reconciliation. Maybe you're giving them, divorce papers and then heading out. However, but you're just saying it's time to go. It's time for me to do what I need to do. I'm done here. My time here is done. I'm on my way to better horizons. Okay, my friends, if you like this, hit that big old like button. And until next time, guys, peace and love. Bye-bye.